Hey everybody, we're back. We're gonna hop on with the beer judge Jeff Bragg pretty soon. But quick update on where we're at with the brew day. I am just I got the mash going. I got about another 22 minutes or so to go before we start cycling or recirculating. And then we're at about 149 degrees. That's where we want to be for cream ale. So everything's looking good so far. So we're just waiting for the beer judge, and it looks like he's here. So let's try and pull him on. If I can figure out how to do it. All right, let's see if we can get him on. While we're waiting, yeah, Big Brew Day. It's pretty fun. It's pretty interesting to be doing it virtually. Not a whole lot of experience with this, so here we go. We're on.
Here we go, Eddie B.
Hey, there he is, Mr. Jeff. Jeff
What's
for the
going
G.
on, buddy?
How much? How are you?
I'm
So,
good. How's your brew day going?
so far, so smooth. No disasters yet. How's yours?
Yeah.
What do you?
Yeah. So no disasters yet. Just trying to hit my mash temp. So I just mashed in. So I'm making German Weiss beer. It's a pretty typical recipe: half wheat, half Pilsner malt, and let's see. Yeah, and then I use a Weihenstephaner Y yeast.
Nice.
Yeast for that, which works out pretty good. So yeah, nothing too chaotic for me this morning. So far, so good.
We got to give you a proper intro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this is my bald brother from another mother, Jeff with a G. He's the beer judge, as you are a beer judge, right? You're what? Nationally ranked.
Yeah, I'm a national level beer judge, the BJCP.
So you
Shout
kind
out
of
to my
you're
BJC brethren.
you're huge in many places of the world.
I'm huge. I'm huge everywhere. I'm huge in Japan too.
In Japan, there you go.
Huge in Japan.
Um, so Jeff is one of the guys in the club that I really bounced a lot of questions off of when I was first getting started. And I pretty much still bounce questions off him every brew day because I still don't know what the hell I'm doing half the time. But yeah, he knows a lot about beer and wanted to bring him on because you're in Santa Barbara now?
Yeah, I'm in fabulous Santa Barbara, California. So
Okay.
unfortunately, not close to the Mad Z's, but now with the Rona, it's easy. We just do it on IG Live.
Yeah, there we go. This is the first time doing it, so it's kind of fun. Yeah, haven't brewed with you in a while, so why don't you walk us through your setup and kind of show us what's going on?
Yeah. So done a couple of things so far this morning. So obviously milled my grains. You gotta go on with that. I also got a new RO system, so I've been screwing around with that this morning. Our water down here in Santa Barbara is super hard, and so I've either been buying distilled water and building it up, and so with the quarantine times, it's kind of hard to go buy 8 gallons of distilled water, and they don't look at you like you're hoarding. So I decided I would buy this fancy HO brew system, um, reverse osmosis system. I'd seen them at HomebrewCon a while back, and I thought it was expensive, so I was like, I don't know, but at this point, given my water situation and given that I just wanted to brew and not have to worry about going to the store, I just sort of pulled the trigger on it. So far so good. The only issue I've had so far is that our water is so bad that it ends up purging off a lot of wastewater, and so I ended up basically going and blending my water. So I used just the RO water, and then I just used tap water to get going. So I just mashed in. So I had cracked my grains, milled my grains, and I've got a Sabco system here. So hot liquor tank. So I had my water about 175, and then just moved it over here, where I added the grains, and this system is both gas and electric. And so what's happening now is just getting things into the right temperature range. We're about 150 at a target mash temp of 152. So hopefully that steadies out here. I missed it by a little bit. So the nice thing about this is that you can actually, it's got burners underneath both, and so I can hit the burner and try to bring the temp up, which is what I was just doing. Nice. I'll probably have to do it again because it's falling a little bit. Hasn't quite got there.
Yeah, I'm trying to juggle around with the brewing and trying to mess around on this IG Live thing.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna put a little bit of heat to that bad boy.
So you travel around the world a lot and you get a lot of good beer. So what's getting you by with this lockdown? Any beers that's really been standing out?
I think that's sort of been one of the silver linings, at least locally here in California. Is the ability to get beer shipped. So, Eddie and I were talking last night. Super lucky to be able to get Russian River, even down here normally. But being able to get a 12-pack delivered of Pliny right to your door is pretty slick. So I've been drinking way more Pliny than I should.
Well, man, doesn't sound like a bad deal to me. So I had one of my home brews. This is a wheat beer that I did a couple weeks ago. It's super hazy AF, but still it turned out all right. And so this is my impression of Jeff when he tastes the beer. You ready? Ready for it?
I'm ready. I'm ready to do it.
There he goes.
There's that. Yeah.
And then you won't tell us if you like it or not.
You gotta smell it first, though, Eddie. I didn't get the nose. You gotta get the nose in there, but you got the same side profile with the goatee and the bald head, so it's working out for you.
I'm not a nationally ranked judge, so we skip a few parts of the process here.
Yes, smelling is important.
Mad Z. So how'd you get the Mad Z? How did you get started with the Mad Z's?
Yeah, so
and what?
So I got started with the Mad Z's a million years ago. So I started brewing, I guess it's probably 19 years ago now. I was just looking through one of my old books, and it has my first recipe that my buddy Keith and I made together on Thanksgiving break in '98. So I had brewed, what I thought was decent beer, and moved to Livermore, and found a local homebrew shop, and then found a little card that somebody had left. I think it was probably Brian Cooper had left a card just there, and said Mad Zymergist, and I was like, well, maybe that would be fun. I don't really know a whole lot of people in Livermore, so let me go give that a try. It was, at the time, the club was pretty small. We were still meeting in people's houses. We met at somebody's house, and I brought an IPA that I'd made, and I was super excited to bring an IPA. And the thing that I'm realizing is that I don't know how long my mashing is going to happen for, but we'll figure that out. I guess we'll figure out how long this was. Okay, 10 minutes. We'll be good to go. Yeah, so I brought an IPA, and I sort of rushed it, I guess. I was also doing some stuff that I don't do anymore. If you read Charlie Papazian's book, which is sort of what I had started with, he says, you got to rack your beer off into a secondary fermenter. And so I did that. And then the beer that I brought, everybody tasted, and everybody's like, oh man, this is a diacetyl bomb. And I was like, is that good? And they're like, no, it's this buttery smell. So everybody was just bashing the beer, and I was like, oh man, this sucks. So I was super lucky that the guys sort of put their arm around my shoulder and said, hey, these guys are a bunch of jerk offs, but they will help you make better beer. And through the process, I think I've learned a ton. There were a lot of guys that were into judging, and so really got involved in that aspect of it, which I think really helped me understand the language, understand the brewing process, understand faults and how to fix them. So yeah, that's sort of how I started, but it's been a heck of a ride with Mad Z's really growing big time
Yeah,
from where they were.
yeah. Even since I've been in it. So yeah, the first time I brought a beer in there, I was real excited about it. It was like I think it was a Green Flash West Coast IPA clone, and some people thought it was really good, and I thought it was like amazing, of course. And then we got some of the beer judges are like, I think that's a little plasticky in there, some plastic. And well, we'll have to work on that. So that's when I started kind of pinging questions off each of you guys, and you guys have really helped me out with my brewing. So yeah, it's great to be a part of the club with the guys like you and still be able to bounce questions off you.
Yeah, no, anytime anybody has questions, they can also, shoot me something on Instagram. Always willing to help out. I wouldn't be any judge at all or any sort of brewer at all without the help of the Matt Zymergists and the things I've learned through the Brewing Network. Listening to a lot of those podcasts. Yeah, there's looking sort of at the table, the stuff I have, and you know, just really important basic stuff around cleaning, sanitation. If you're not using PBW, you should be doing that. If you're not using Star San, you should be doing that. You got to keep things clean and sanitized. Understand what those are for and why. Yeah, it makes a big difference. Temperature control obviously makes a huge difference. I'm super excited. I just got a chiller. I got a glycol chiller, so I'm going to be changing my my fermenter, and I've got a coil inside my fermenter now. Or at least I'm going to check. I'm not going to do that today because I haven't figured it out yet. But temperature control makes a huge difference in beer, and I'll be able to get rid of my 1997 old Amana refrigerator. That's every time I plug it in, when I make beer, I can tell the electric bill goes through the roof.
I hear you. There you go. So what do you said you're having temperature problems? You got to get to it.
I'm at 152.1 right now, but I still got the heat on the bottom of this guy. But so the nice thing about this is that the electric heater will just sort of keep it, within a few tenths of a degree. So we're right there now. I'm afraid if I turn it off, it's probably going to dip down a bit. So I'm just going to leave it on for a little bit of time. But I can pick you guys up and I can show you what's happening here. It's not get too steamy, but
I'm checking my. I think I got about 9 minutes. So
yeah, so we're
nice.
Recirculating away. We've got the warm water going through all them grains, making that nice tea, getting all that sugary action out, which is the best part.
All right. Awesome.
So yeah, we're mid-process. We're getting
All
there.
right.
It's just the quiet before the storm.
Well, we're trying to just have some quick checkpoints throughout the day, as we talked about. So I think next we're going to bring Brian Cooper on and the top of the hour at noonish or so and check in with him. And yeah, feel free to hop on and give us more updates on how your day's going.
I will do.
All
Good
right,
to
buddy.
see you, buddy.
Miss you,
All right,
man.
Cheers.
Right. Stay safe over there, buddy.
We'll do. You too. See ya.